And we are back with Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Jumping Junipers. Last session, they went to go collect some Jabberwock poop, rolled on through Terrace Town, met some goblins, and one of the fathers of the children in Loomlurch, Yvelda, and promised that they would do everything they could to get him back. Then you went to the long floating islands. The rope had to be ascended, nearly fell off, but thankfully Notus has Featherfall. They are practically one with the wind. When you get to the top, it was a absolute war zone between sprites and pixies, and did everything you could to try and convince them to talk, but seems talking was done, and instead you decided to try and gift them something from the opposition as a way of using the rule of reciprocity. And this seemed to work, and they exchanged buttons, and they vowed to make this into a haven of peace, and maybe even build a little factory that produces buttons. Once the peace and quiet was settled, you were able to explore and find the Jabberwock poop, which seemed to be fertilizing all kinds of strange flowers and mushrooms. And I think you saved a campestry and found a strange flower called Twilight Revelry. And then you made your way back. You also encountered a dryad who said that the tree in Loomlurch was in fact one that they were bonded to, and she wants anything but revenge for having felled it. And the hag is the only way to do that. And what else? I think that
she
pretty
showed
much
us the
covers
way
it.
to another grandfather oak.
Oh yes, yeah. There's another tree if you wish to go help. She said if you do, then she will enchant some of its sycamore seeds to help aid in this infiltration of the hut. So yeah, that's another thing you can rely on to help you out. And then we left with you guys just arriving back at Loomlurch. But before we get on to that, we have to figure out what's happening all the way over on the third tree, where Garreth, you just entered into Scabatha's house or home, effectively. I will give you a full description of everything just before you head on inside, just so that you can explore. But you can also just go straight in if you wish. So
there were
let's
a
go.
couple things that I wanted to do before entering.
Yeah. All right then.
Starting
In which
with
case,
this very fancy glass.
okay.
What's the word?
Bell.
The glass bell. I want to open it and release the moths.
Okay. Yeah, behind the dollhouse, by the window, these moths flutter inside a large bell jar. And it is a little bit heavy, but I think with Jack, you could, because you are tiny.
Yeah.
But Jack is gonna go spit on his hands. All right, rubs them together. Here, and he starts to lift this large bell jar, which is, give me a hand here.
Go, Jack. We can do this.
All right, and you lift it up just enough, tilt it to one side. The moths start to flutter in and exit out of the bell jar. And you see them immediately hit onto the window, and then they flutter around the room trying to find an exit. And they do feel some airflow because there is no windows on the aviary, and they start to flutter in that direction. The mechanical sparrows here just seem to click and turn their heads towards them, watching this happen, but they don't make any attempt to snatch up the moths. They just sit
Freeing
on
the
their
little-
perches.
I guess gotta free everything from a hag.
Mm-hmm.
One of the moths
Goodbye.
seems to, yeah, one of the moths does seem to like flutter near you, and sort of land on your nose for a moment. Oh, and
Well-
it seems to be maybe thanking you. You're not sure. It looks like it's trying to like get a better look at you, perhaps.
If you want to help us out in the future, that would be very appreciated. For now, you can free. You're free.
The little moth sort of
Mm.
tickles you with its antennas before fluttering around in the room. This one doesn't just leave immediately. Seems to go up into the high perches.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Just get back.
I should go in there in the dollhouse.
Ah, yeah. So the aviary as well. Did you want to go over there at all, or are you going to go in the dollhouse?
I'm
It's
gonna
up to
go
you.
in the dollhouse. I'm not gonna waste too much time.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Oh, Jack. While I'm in the dollhouse, can you go
Uh-huh.
to the other tree and talk with the other boggles?
Yeah. Wait. What do you want me to say to them?
Can you ask them to protect the children, make sure they won't be harmed because of what the hag is doing?
Okay. It didn't seem like the hag was trying to harm them in the first place, but rather just make their life a misery.
Hmm? The hag doesn't harm them directly, but she's making sure the children will be harmed when they're working.
Okay.
You
I'll
weren't
try
in
and
there, but there's a workshop with a circle saw, and the children are working with it unsupervised.
It doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, yeah, I'll try and make sure they're not getting into any trouble. Hey, this moth keeps You see Jack like sneezing a little as the moth
Oh.
dust Jack in the face with some moth dust. Okay, well, I'll teleport over to the other side then. You sure you're gonna be okay? Do you want me to keep an eye on you at all? Or...
You can. I should be able to call for help, and I'm indoor.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck in
what?
there, Garreth. And
I'll send a message
need
when
me-
I'm indoor, and if you don't receive a message within the hour, maybe you should look for the other group.
okay. Yeah, see if I can talk to you in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He gets ready to jump across from the balcony to the other side, and we'll wait till he can hear you. I mean, from here to the other balcony, it's probably about 100 feet ish. Probably just a bit less, actually.
You can always teleport down and
sits
then
there
teleport
waiting.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can get into a position where he can hear you, so as long as he doesn't go further than that tree, he should be alright. Alright.
Okay. On we go.
And
Oh,
alright.
Cotton. So adorable.
Yes, the little moth. little moth flutters around, almost landing on the top, very tippity top of the house, and just looks down at you, watching, and just like starts cleaning its little antenna, flexing its little wings. Let me just check. Okay, so the 3-foot tall edifice has seen better days and is now besmirched by peeling paint, mold, and rot. And there's a little staircase leading up and into the dollhouse. And trying the door, it does not appear to be locked. So you wish to go inside?
Mm-hmm.
All right, take you to the map.
Oh wait, the front door is the only entrance, right?
Appears to be on at least the one you can reach. But the windows don't look like they're obvious. None of the windows look like they're open or anything like that. Okay. I'm going to put cotton here. There we go. Now, this is a dissection of the house. It is actually, in fact, still closed, even though you can clearly see there's like hinges and stuff that open it. But this is a nice, easy way to sort of view the house in an isometric view.
Oh wait,
Regardless,
would someone have been able to open the dollhouse this way?
You didn't see any obvious ways to open it.
Okay.
This is purely for a visual perspective. There may be a way, but none that were obvious to you when you initially walked in, and nor do you see the hinges on the inside because it'd be closed as well, right? There might be a seam down the side, but other than that, it's all closed up.
When I enter the dollhouse, I actually want to close it with a key. Make sure that no one can disturb me while I'm in there.
Okay. You want to use the key to lock it?
I want to use the key to lock the door, and I'll send you the passphrase.
Okay. All right. Got it. So, looking around this house, there is some toy furniture inside. Though, looking at closer, like even the rug does seem to have like individual fabrics and such. It looks more like a shrunken down sort of rug. Same with the kind of like sofa there. And just as you're looking around for a moment, you gain brief kind of flashes and images of more recognizable furniture. In fact, it's as you're looking around, you can kind of almost hear a voice calling out to you. Garreth? Garreth, would you like to come in here? Help us bake this pie. And it is your mother's voice.
Oh no.
And as you hear it, the vision around you begins to shift slightly into that of your own home. And sure enough, almost the rooms themselves seem to be almost modeled after your house. But give me a wisdom saving throw as well. That is a fail. And you immediately all around you, everything shifts. The windows outside suddenly have this beautiful rays of light pouring in. It's like a summer day. You can feel the heat on your skin, and you can smell a scent in the kitchen. it is like pastries and like cinnamon and such. It's like a delicious pie baking in the oven, maybe. But yeah, all around you, you now visually and in all other senses believe this to be sort of your house.
Mm-hmm.
But you can feel free to move your token. The kitchen, you can hear the sounds of kitchen cutlery that way.
With the sound of hearing my mother, I entirely forget about signaling Jack.
Oh, yeah.
And I run over to the kitchen. I'm coming.
When you enter
Wait for me.
inside, you see the image of your mother and sister. Hannah is here. She turns to you and gives a warm smile. And you see she's maybe got like cake mix on her fingers and she's been like kneading dough. And she's like, Garreth, there you are. You're late. Hey, maybe you can do some of the topping.
Something came up? I'd love to. Yes, let's do that.
She says, here you go, and sort of hands you some ingredients and the bowl. And yeah, you start making this delicious pastry, all the while completely entranced by this vision. And you just see in the corner of the room, your mother is like perhaps washing up some bowl. And you only see the back of her. You don't see the front. She's just sort of, sort of humming to herself, and yeah. After a little while, this looks ready to be cooked. You can put it in the oven and set a timer. She says, "This is going to be the best pie ever, Garreth. I can't wait."
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's got all our favorites in it. Yeah, but you're essential as all the other ingredients. And the most important part is it's made with love, right, Mum? And she says, "That's right, dear." And you see the oven open up, and you place it inside, and Hannah's like clapping her hands, hoping it can speed up. And yeah, you start to see the pastry like rising. The smell is intoxicating, and you hear a slight clatter from the kitchen, and then you hear a dish fall and shatter. And you quickly look round behind, and you see that your mother has accidentally dropped one of the plates that she was stacking, and all the ceramic is like shattered over the floor. But your mother doesn't flinch or move to suddenly pick it up. She just stands there, sort of watching out of the window, not moving. And yeah, her shoulders are just sort of still, and her arms are by her side. And Hannah looks a little concerned. Mum? You okay? She starts picking up the pieces. It's all right. We'll have it cleaned up before Dad gets home.
Oh, Mom! I've learned a new trick. Let me show you. I'll try to use mending on the plates.
Oh, yeah, sure. You start to stitch things back together, and as you're using your Fae-like magic, you hear something in the oven sort of kind of pop and whistle, and Hannah looks around, and you see as soon as you're mending the plate, you see the pie in the oven sort of changing and blowing up almost enlarging beyond the space that the oven can hold. And it starts splatting up against the side. And you hear your
Wait.
mother's voice saying, "The pie. I think we may have accidentally added something else. An ingredient I didn't mean to. There's something wrong."
Hmm? What happened?
I got some help making it.
Well, getting help isn't wrong.
I feared this day. You suddenly feel a heat radiating from the oven that feels uncomfortably hot, not like the sun-kissed warmth of the summer sun. This feels like a fiery, singeing, burning sensation. And you see all the skin on your mother beginning to almost like melt away, like boils up and then sizzles and just strips away. And as you're watching this, you see underneath the skin, instead of flesh and bone, is this barky, charred texture. And I think you're going to take... You take 5 points of psychic damage as you witness your mother's hair all fall away. And as she turns around in this rickety manner, she faces you, and you see one of her eyes sizzle and pop, and you are face to face with Granny Nightshade, who looks towards you and says, "The pie is corrupted."
Wait,
"It's mine."
you don't belong here. This is our house. Get out!
"And you have something that belongs to me." And she starts reaching towards, with her hand, a big clawed hand that reaches towards the oven. Except instead of reaching towards the oven at the last second, she goes towards Hannah and grips a hold of their throats and lifts them up. "What a delicious little pie. Indeed, made with love. Made with all the essential ingredients. I look forward to devouring you." What do you do, Garreth? He's standing like
Well,
by the
yeah.
oven, lifting up Hannah. He's like,
Garreth, help me.
Let my sister go. Can I? I will summon my Licorice and try to attack her arm, the arm that's reaching out for Hannah.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Here.
Oh my goodness.
Where is it?
This massive black licorice axe appears and goes to slice at her.
Rolled a
that's a hit.
13.
It slices off her hand, and you see the bark clatter to the floor. Ah! She like screams in a little bit of agony and looks back at you.
That's my
Not
sister.
you, I want.
Leave my sister alone.
You see Hannah like fall to the floor, like gasping for air. And she says, "Impetuous little child." And you see the ticking on her back suddenly come to a halt. And at this, she goes to claw back at you, but I'm going to try and make it a grapple. So give me either athletics or acrobatics check. Oh boy. Got a high one to beat there. Okay, she snatches you up, lifting you off the ground. And you hear all your own kind of clattering limbs as well. And she looks back towards the oven and says, why don't you get a taste of your own medicine? She lifts open the oven and says, yes, a fitting revenge, and slams you into the oven, where she closes the door, and you feel a burning sensation all over your wooden joints.
Hmm.
And I need you to make another wisdom save. Ooh, okay, that's another fail. You feel the burning sensation, and as your joints become ablaze, and you take another 4 fire damage. What would you like to try and do? Oh god, whatever you was concentrating on, that goes. Was that your crochet?
That was my liquor axe.
Oh no, I'm afraid that burns and melts away into the oven, and you smell the scent of charred, burnt, not only flesh but intermingled with the pie. Hannah sees what's happening and just lets out a scream. Let me just see what she's got. She's got anything she can do. She's definitely wrestling against Skabatha, trying to get the oven open. It might be a futile attempt, but I'll roll it anyway. She's got to beat us. Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as Hannah tries, there's little she can do to overpower the hag. Oh my god, though.
Oh my god.
Although, it's almost enough. She's just a child, though. She's not able to muster the strength. She's just been kind of kicked away. She's like, I'll get to you soon enough.
Can I will?
Why don't you lay the
to
table?
go out?
Will it to go out? Yeah, how so?
This.
Oh, yeah. You can snuff out fires. Yeah. Let me... You can chill. You can also chill it as well.
Mm-hmm.
The entire oven. And you're a 5th... No, you're not a 5th level yet.
No, not 5th.
Okay.
If
All
only.
Right. Yes. So yeah, it says you can snuff out a small campfire. I think this definitely is at least the size of that. So you just hear the sizzle and poof as the fire goes out, and you realize it all over your body as well has just extinguished immediately. And as you do this, you also what feels like extinguish the entire scene as your vision is completely blotted out by this thick black smoke, and you're like coughing for a moment before you're able to suddenly feel the door, the pressure on it on the other side kind of release, and you're able to kick it open, and so you're trying to get breath of fresh air and look around the room. Similarly, it seems as though the vision of Skabatha and Hannah has also extinguished into this black smoke that fills the roof of the room. You clamber out.
She mentioned something about making up the table.
Yeah, she did.
So I presume she's going to the dining room, which should be over there. Would I have some sort of clarity that I remember Jack or not?
As you have not succeeded a wisdom saving throw yet, no. not quite. Once you succeed on one, I will say yes, you can.
Okay. Then I will just rush after where Hannah would be, and I'll
Okay.
get Thompson up.
Push open the door, looking around.
Hannah?
Seems to be two plates laid out. No sign of Hannah, nor do you really hear back from her either.
And if I look through the window, do I see a woodland scenery, or do I see...
You do. There is still
Okay.
the scene of your home just outside, like it would be the tree line of the forest, which you often would go out to explore together, and you'd go off on all kinds of little adventures. And in fact, as you're looking out of the window, perhaps wistfully, what is a memory, a strong emotional memory that you attribute to Hannah and yourself?
Most of the times it is, just the two of us, either watching through the window, watching outside because it's too late, we can't go out yet. And then, thinking of all the stuff that we can do when we can go out, when it's daylight. And during the day, we just be... Is it frolicking? Running around, playing
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
house, around
Skipping
the
around.
building.
All right. So, yeah, you kind of reminisce for a moment as you look around your home, running up and down the stairs, or wishing that you could be outside. Home was always, a cozy place, but it never compared to the outdoors and being free in the woods, at one with nature. It was just an endless playground where your imaginations could run wild.
Meeting new friends. Or animals.
Meeting friends, yeah. Meeting Juniper is certainly one of the more memorable moments, I think. The time you got to see all of those, the jumping junipers were formed. Yeah, got a little bit of art, perhaps.
Yeah.
Quaint little cottage in the woods where that fateful day began. You set out with Hannah, hoping to go maybe fishing by the stream, and it was there that you encountered the most adorable little owlbear cub. Strange little tag around their neck. Juniper was their name. And they were falling clumsily into the river. And that's when you spotted several of your friends coming out of the tree line, approaching you. This day felt like it lasted forever. And you made so many new friends, so many more memories. The moment when they sort of all gathered, looking out towards the witchlight. You remember the ideas coming towards you, sneaking into the witchlight carnival, all the way up to the point when that tragedy struck. When you were inside the
Hall of
the
Illusions.
mirror maze. Yeah, the horrors
the
of
horror.
illusions, I was going to say. Yeah, it might as well be. And you hear again Hannah's voice. Is it here? Is it in your memory? You hear them calling out, Garreth, I'm scared. I'm lost. Wait, who's there? And you can hear a voice sort of turning around sharply. And then a small scream. You can hear her footsteps kind of running away. And as you hear those footsteps, you almost hear them upstairs, like doo, 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 across the floorboards. And then the second set, almost stalking behind her, like doo, 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 doo.
No. Where are you? Sister? Anna?
You rush up and into the bathroom where you see a mirror hanging on the wall. And the metal sort of all reflecting this, all the metal of like the sink and the bath, all kind of reflecting this warped, almost sort of distorted version of the Hall of Mirrors. And you taking a quick glance in the mirror, you see a reflection not your own, and a pig-faced child with rotting flesh smiles back at you and says, "Your sister is fine. Your sister is happy."
She doesn't sound happy. Wait, is there no recognition, right?
Recognition? This
Do I recognize
is
this girl?
indeed. You do recognize her, yes. And she says, "Why didn't you just join us? We can all play chase together. You've made so many friends today. I could be one of your friends too." And
Of
she
cour-
offers out a hand, reaching through the mirror, and you can give me a wisdom saving throw again. Mm.
15!
This time it is a success, and yes, you remember Sopig fully, and you remember exactly how she lured your sister into that mirror and away from this place. Come on, join us.
What?
What do you do?
So... Why do we have to stay? Why can't we have friends elsewhere? You can be our friends outside of this building.
There's a whole forest to explore. And she
Mhm.
steps aside, and the reflection of the mirror warps into that of the ancient trees of thither. And you see Hannah in the background, somewhere lost within those trees, looking and calling out, "Garreth, help me! I don't like this anymore. Can we go home?"
Oh.
"Don't be silly," Sopig says. "We've only just started." And you see her like behind her back, she's like holding this lollipop, massive hard candy with a bite taken out of it. And as she's like turning back into the forest to speak to Hannah, you see it behind her back, and then she looks back at you and says, "Come on now. You want to be with your sister, don't you? I can take you there."
I'll shout out, Hannah, if you can hear me, I still got your thing. You can always talk to me. I'm always listening.
The lock of hair, isn't it? Or is it
The
no,
nail.
sorry, it's a nail. It's a nail, yeah, that's right. You hear her voice through the nail. And it shouts, "Garreth, break the mirror! It's not real!"
Okay. I'm sorry, Sopik. being friends is gonna get
Ah.
another time. And I'll grab Thompson and I smash the mirror.
Well, that's just rude. And you see that Sopig folds her arms as soon as the mirror cracks and shatters into 1,000 pieces, landing in the bath. So at that point, the whole room becomes silent, and your memories and vision wash away to reveal this rather bland and undecorated, unhomely bathroom, which is not yours. It is not your house. This is the Dollhouse, and you realize where you are and what you're doing here. And
Oh,
the shattered pieces of glass are just reflecting that that failed illusion.
mhm. I'll take a moment for myself to remember to actually message check. I'm in. I'm okay.
Oh, I
But
got a
there's
little worried
stuff
there for a
going on.
second. You're okay, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean
Yeah.
stuff?
What's her name? Granny is in here, or was, and Sopik.
Granny. I didn't see her go in. I've been keeping an eye on the room. No one's in there but you, I think. I assure you, I didn't see Granny come in there, nor Sopig.
Like I said, stuff is going. I don't know what is going on, but it's weird. It's creepy.
Creepier than me?
Of course, creepier than you. You're cute.
All right, well, keep your wits about you. Shall I go? I'm going to go check out the Buggles. I'll keep my eye out and through the balcony, though.
Okay, that will do. I'll talk to you later.
All right. And with that, you feel Jack kind of getting more distant as he teleports through his dimensional door. And you're left to sort of look around this bedroom area. There is a bed. It is made up, but doesn't look like anyone's been sleeping in it.
Mm-hmm.
Although maybe that's because it's been cleaned and left like that for a while. In the other corner, there is like a spinning wheel, the mannequin, table set out with seamstress-like instruments, scissors, thread, that kind of thing.
I
What would you like
will
to do?
use some druidcraft to sprinkle the scent of fresh cinnamon around the beds.
Mm-hmm.
In case that if
Okay.
I were to miss Anna, if she passes by me without me noticing, she would know that something has happened to the beds.
You've been there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Anna! I'm
Looking
here!
around, you don't hear her voice again at this point. Do you inspect anything on the near the needle
workshop
and
parts?
thread? Yeah. Or even inspect the bed, it's up to you. Or do you write it off? It's up to you.
I'm gonna leave it for later. For now, I'm going upstairs.
Okay. You head up the stairs and into what looks to be perhaps the master bedroom area. And lining this four-poster bed, you see dozens of little dolls. Some of them are like little herringon dolls, little rabbit ears and a bow. Others look to be creepy looking, smiling human dolls. Those even appear to be a kind of a kenku, like a little painted beak sticking out of one of them. And when I say creepy, they are like pretty damn creepy. Their
Oh.
faces are all like painted on, and some of their smiles look irregularly too wide. Teeth look sharp in some of the images, and it's all around just kind of shudders.
And how many of them
Some
are
of them
there?
there's like half a dozen.
Is any one of them blue? Blue-green?
You can go over and inspect. There's some of them perhaps even piled underneath one another. And you see them suddenly shift slightly, moving away from your grasp. You swear you saw one move just a moment ago.
Has any of you seen my sister?
One of them turns towards you slowly, its face and eyes still just distant and looking past you. And one of them does begin to nod slightly.
Can you tell me where to find them?
You hear a voice coming from them. You've already found them.
I'm confused.
Don't you remember? They all start to say this in unison. Don't you remember? Don't you remember? You need to remember.
Remember... What do I need to remember? Gonna sit on the chair, try to remember. What am I missing? What have
What
I
is another
forgotten?
memory that comes to mind with Hannah? The mind feels like it's trying to cast back into a pool of memories. You feel like a ripple, like a stone falling into a lake. And as your vision whisks you away, you realize you are on the swan, Featherine, slowly sailing away to safety. Looking back, you can see the hag's hut made of gingerbread getting further and further away. Featherine's soft, downy feathers are a comfort, and you're able to sort of rest now after such an ordeal in escaping that horrid place. You and Hannah almost to the point of exhaustion, but Featherine keeps you awake by making idle chatter, answering your questions about who it was who sent that fairy dragon to help you. And Hannah's asking you questions as well, Garreth. Why would she try and do that to us? We've never done anything to her.
Granny?
Yeah, Granny. Why would she lock us away like that? Who is she? Why is she so mean?
I don't know. She didn't look mean when we got in there. She looked nice and sweet. Maybe she was really, really lonely and
You hear
afraid that we were leaving.
Featherine turns her head round to you, Garreth, and says, "Your appearances can be deceiving, my dears. What may appear as nice and welcoming could well be a trap. This granny, I believe she's made a deal. She means to collect on that, or at least she did, until you trapped her in that oven and burnt her to a crisp.
But if she
Quick thinking, by the way.
we never met her before. How could she collect on a deal with us?
I'm afraid it might not have been either of your fault. It may have been something utterly out of your control.
That's unfair.
She seems to look down back at the waters. She says, "It is. Which is why I believe Zybilna took pity and tried to right this evil wrongdoing." You see the reflection of Zybilna appearing in the pool of water. Your patron, who has reached out in this moment and offered that chance of salvation. Just staring down. She looks towards you with a caring, concerned face at the two of you. And then what would be a smile turns to a grave look as she turns away from your faces, and the reflection seems to aim towards your home, the direction of it. And the wind sort of washes away the reflection in ripples, and up ahead you smell the scent of smoke. Some things are beyond our power. And you see Featherine quickly disembark you onto the banks of the river, where she says, go now. And she flutters her wings, trying to give you a tailwind to rush forward towards your home. And as you arrive, you see the inferno, the blaze that has engulfed your small, quaint little cottage. You see the tiles are charred, the chimney collapsing, the windows are just lit up, and shattered glass rains down around the porch. And you're left looking up at this, helpless, wondering what it was that this deal entailed. And as you hear a sudden agonizing scream from within, I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. This scene before you has gone from one of the best memories of getting out and escaping that hellscape into almost feeling like out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do as you witness this taking place? It is your home on fire.
Garreth will be breaking down. I'm not sure what he would do. He would freeze right in front of the door, not entering, not running away. He can't do anything anymore.
Take 3 points of psychic damage as the emotional trauma of hearing your mother's agonizing screams as she is burnt to death inside the home resonates through you. And you see almost these creepy looking eyes opening up on the house. The vision, the haze of the smoke seems to warp them into existence. They look down towards you. Your front door almost forms into that of a mouth. The burning wreckage and splintered wood forms into like jagged teeth. And it speaks towards you in a voice. I told you I would come and collect. You can't go back on our deal.
But that wasn't
now-
our deal.
You interfered with your parents' sins. Thought you could scrub them from history. Thought you could burn this bridge. You only burnt yourself. I will return from the ashes to claim what is mine. Don't think you run. Don't think you can defeat me. And don't you dare interfere again. Or else it might not be your family. Might well be your friends next time. They get caught. And the inferno. And with this, the vision burns away. Your tears feel like they're stinging your eyes. Maybe that's just the smoke. You return back to this room. You see the other dolls looking towards you now. The jagged teeth that were on the door seem to be only mirrored by the sharpened teeth on this creepy looking rabbit doll. The burnt flesh of what you imagine your mother has endured seems to be mirrored on this doll. It seems to be all withered and ragged with pins stuck through it. And they all seem to have crawled to the edge of the bed, witnessing you experience this vision.
Why us? What have we done wrong?
They look towards you and say, "Sins of the father are wrought by the son."
But why my sister?
She was coveted by the hag. She belongs to her.
She does
She
not.
belongs to Granny.
She does not. There is no way.
There's nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. Granny's warned you. She'll hurt more people you love. Should just give up on it. Go home.
Without my sister, there is no home. Where is she?
Give me an insight check. As the dolls begin to look amongst one another.
15.
And then they all seemingly look back towards the stairs, going like leading down, and they say, "You won't find her. She's gone, Garreth."
She can't be.
You rush across. I'll
Yeah.
say that there are a few other things in the attic that are of at least interest, perhaps. Stuffed at the back, you see like there is a doll with like hollowed out eyes, stitched mouth that's far bigger than the other dolls. It looks to be like a weird wand that spirals to a tip. An inkwell and a quill. A strange looking pipe with a monstrous face and an orb with the cardinal directions on them as well. There's also a thread, like a spun thread that's tucked away right at the very back as well.
I'm gonna check that later. Right now, priority is sister.
Yeah, of course. You gather they must be perhaps other lost things that she's stolen from people, and none of them belong to you, but you rush back down the stairs and you hear the dolls kind of mobilize and they start hopping off of the bed, trying to like follow after you, but some of them tumble down the stairs with their stubby legs and squish to the bottom in a pile. But they are indeed following you.
Well, they can't follow.
Where are you going, Garreth?
What
You
is
going
she?
back?
I'm looking for my sister. I'm not leaving before I get her.
Then you won't leave at all.
I
And
don't
you
care.
suddenly see the spinning wheel, the table, suddenly lurch to life and seems to clatter towards the exit, and the scissors kind of like form into like that of a blade, and you see them attach themselves to a like a plank of wood. The whole like formation of wood reforms itself into that of a small guillotine that hops towards you, with its blade kind of shinking down really fast in a quick, rapid manner. We can't let you. We can't let you leave. Maybe you should just forget this. We can We can help end your suffering. Yes. Then you won't be so sad.
You seem to misunderstand. I'm here to get my sister back. And if you're standing in my way, so be it. And
What do
I'm
you do,
gonna
Garreth?
I'm gonna try to destroy the guillotine.
Okay, roll initiative. And we'll see where this goes. Oh, sorry, I've rolled for you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'll let you do it. Just click the little dice. Okay, you see the guillotine does manage to get to go first, and rushes forward, trying to catch your head in the blade, and trying to slam shut.
Excuse
How the heck
me,
has
what?
it got that? That's not right. That's not right. It should only have +6 to hit, so it's got a
That's a
12.
miss.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you see the blade come forward, clutters, as like cluttering wood seems to trip over itself, but it can't get a good grip on you. It'll be your turn. Tiny.
Let's start with this part. Gonna Misty Step to the back.
Okay.
And I believe I get a D. Was it a D6? D10.
A D10. Oh, if it's faced up, yeah.
Yeah.
8.
I believe so. Let me check. Oh, faced it. And then
Yeah,
as
immediately after you teleport, one creature you see
yeah.
within 10 feet gains
Cool.
8 temp
So you
HP.
gain 8. There you go.
8, so perfect.
Hard candy like coats your body as you teleport past the encroaching guillotine.
And then this one, but instead of the regular normal cookies, this one is more like a burnt cookie because of the this is no more friendly, whimsical
burnt
Garreth.
cookie.
Yeah.
It's a charred version. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems to fly through the hole in the guillotine as it raises up its blade again and starts trying to like waddle towards you. But you can move as well. You've got movement. You can
I
easily
got movement. I'm gonna move just past the bed.
Okay. You can keep if you wanted to keep going even more. There's actually like you'd even get to the top of the stairs. In fact, if you wanted to, or you can stay there.
I think I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. All right. Starts waddling after
well,
you.
Okay, no, I'm gonna move right in front of the door.
20, 25, 30. It will have to dash to get towards you. After the teleport and movement, its little legs starts like clattering all the way up to you. Its blade raises once again and tries to like lift up and over your head, but that'll be its go. The dolls, meanwhile, just start sort of. They've kept their distance, but they're like following after you, nonetheless. Okay, your turn.
Should I do it now?
Mm. 13 misses.
Yep.
This thing is very hard to hit, it seems. Hex on it, though. I'll give it back that health. It is so hard to hit, and every time you get a swing, it seems like it flies through, just like disassembling itself, and the axe just passes right on through as it then reattaches itself together.
Yeah, I'll. Is the door open or is it closed? I forgot.
I think you left that door open.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm gonna end my turn here.
Okay. I'm gonna roll something else onto the initiative at the top of this round. First things first. The dolls. And then secondly, Cotton. As you see the dolls getting closer and closer, realizing you're here to stay and fight, the dolls begin to pull out little tiny needles from their body and start approaching, raising them up like a knife held in the air. And it's at that point you hear fluttering around up against the windows, Garreth. You see a swarm of moths all trying to get in. And they're up against like this window over here in the bathroom area, as well as the one that kind of landed on your nose earlier. They look to be looking towards you, and then gesturing at the what's it called, the latch on the window on the inside here, and they're fluttering against it like trying to get inside. At the top of the round yet. So this guillotine comes towards you. I should have fixed it by now. Should have a +6. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Again, the thing comes towards you, leans over and snaps, but instead just clips off one of the bedposts. And that'll be its go. Your turn.
And I'll disengage.
Okay.
And then run to the window and see if I can open the latch.
Yep, sure can. The window releases, and you see the moths fly in past your head, fluttering. A whole swarm of them rushes in, and the swarm at the back, they go towards the dolls, and just completely encapsulate, like almost a dozen of them, eating at their cotton flesh. Like nibbling at them. You hear the dolls like, no, get off of me. Their mouths are being ripped open by the moths. One of them crawls free from the scramble, but Cotton intercepts them. And this one I will actually make an attack with. No, they missed. Damn. They are fighting back against them, and then the living doll will go ahead and use its grabby hands against the moth.
Oh no!
No, Cotton! Oh no! They grab and they rip off one of the wings of Cotton. Another antenna gets plucked, and they are looking rough, but they're trying to help you as best they can, repaying you perhaps for their freedom. Meanwhile, the tiny animated guillotine continues to rush towards you. But that's just an item interaction, I guess, though you use your action to disengage, right?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna use a bonus action just yet.
Okay, alright then. It'll be back to the top. This tiny guillotine begins to hop through the door, trying to corner you at the top of the stairs now. And this time rushes into you, trying to like bludgeon you with the top, just like headbutt you with the wood. Ooh, that's gonna hit. Ooh, yeah, you take 6 bludgeoning damage as it pins you, denting your wooden form. You hear a joint kind of crack.
This was my candied armor.
Oh, okay. Well, that candy armor cracks and flakes away. And it's your turn.
Let's dismember you. Excuse me?
Tiny animated objects have a ridiculous amount of AC. They are still unable to be hit. They're stupid AC. I hate to say it, but this doesn't feel like a fight that can feel. It feels one-sided. This fight, 100%. As you swipe once again, it just opens up its compartments and dodges out of it. You see the moths kind of fluttering to try and hold this thing back, hold the at least the dolls back. But this is hopeless against this creature. There is a voice suddenly you hear from inside, like from your nail. You suddenly hear Hannah's voice again. It sounds distant. It sounds like a voice, almost like a recording, almost. And she says, Garreth, if you ever find this place, if you ever come searching for me, just don't, please don't come down into the basement. I don't want you to see what happened. I'm sorry. What do you do? It's your turn.
I'm gonna move around the little guillotine, and that's my turn.
Okay. You're not holding your action or anything? You still
No,
plenty to...
I had my action. My action was the attack on the guillotine.
Oh yeah, sorry, it was my bad. Of course it was. All right. The moths continue to ravage the little dolls. Damn, I'm getting lucky with the moths. Likewise, I'll attack the other living dolls. Yep, that'll hit the one at the back. One with pins sticking out of its flesh. And then it'll attack back. Its grabby hands. Yeah, that's gonna hit. Now, as they grab onto these moths, you see some of the damage is clearly like physical, but you see the moths kind of shaking, their eyes almost glaze over for a moment, and their antennas kind of droop, almost as if they're experiencing some sort of traumatic mental attack. And they've lost the fight in them for a moment or two before they kind of break out of it, and then they start to flutter in frenzy again, trying to defend themselves. Almost just like how you were trying to like snap out of the vision yourselves as well. And once again, I'm gonna have this little grabby guy. I go for Cotton. Cotton lifts up out of the air and flies around whilst pulling on the ear of this this little rabbit manages to escape the clutches, and then it is back to the top. This animated object. They turn around, sliding towards you, slam towards your arm. You pull it out just in time before the blade comes colliding to the wood. And that's its go. Back to you, Garreth.
I never mentioned what ability check he'd have disadvantage on.
Yeah. Which
That
one do you
would be
want?
strength.
Okay.
And I wish to attempt to grapple the damn thing and throw it out the window.
All right. Go ahead, give me athletics check.
He has disadvantage.
All right. Okie dokie. You roll that.
Nat
2d20.
1, nat 1.
It's. Oh, sorry. That was supposed to be keep lowest, not HL. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So just barely underneath yours, which is one more. It doesn't expect you to suddenly go for the grab. You've been swinging it this whole time, and so it's trying to keep its evasion away from your axe. But then with your other hand, like elbowing it into the side, it leans over towards the window, and you just want to tip it up and over and out. Yeah. You see its blade come shinking down one more time as you lift away your hands, as you tip it down, and it tumbles all the way out and comes to a crash at the bottom, taking, well, what looks to be maybe at least 3d6 of bludgeoning damage. You can roll that.
Ooh.
Okay, 10 bludgeoning damage. You hear it kind of collapse into a heap, but you still hear it rattling around outside. It's still alive, but very injured from that.
It's not like it can go inside.
That's true. That's very true. Okay. Nicely done.
And I'll call out, Cotton, it's okay. You can retreat. And I rush down the stairs.
Okay. Not before they take an ear with them. They rip open the stitching and nibble away at its fluffy guts. And then you see Cotton flutter away quickly, trying to take a retreat. Living Doll will, of course, take a quick grab at them. Oh, no. No! As Cotton tries to retreat, you see them grab onto their tail, pull them back, and just ripped apart.
Oh no!
Yeah, you see the little living doll crawling forward now, its head like torn open, an ear missing, pokes its head round the door as you're heading down the stairs and says, "Come back, Garreth. You're next." And that'll be their go. It is back to you, actually, Garreth. Just gonna have the doll dash.
Where was I? There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 30 feet. If I were to dash, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I would end my turn.
Okay. Likewise, the living doll would also dash, just simply dash, coming down all the stairs, and then it'd just be back to you again. Now, what do you do? Do you leave, or do you go against your sister's wishes and try to find?
I'm gonna go against my sister's wishes. Okay. First place where I'm gonna look, where most cellar doors are hidden, beneath the carpets.
Indeed, as you roll back the carpet, you do see there is a small trap door. You can hop down it if you wish.
Before I do that, leave me alone.
Oh, direct hit as the living doll reaches the kitchen area and is sent flying onto their back. Stuffing goes everywhere. And also, you could. No, never mind. You're good.
Mhm.
That's
No,
a good
I
hit. And I was
don't
going to say
have.
something about Hex, but
No, Hex was. No,
yeah,
that
it's on
one
the
is
other thing.
still alive.
It is. You definitely hear it. You hear it cluttering around outside, but it's going to take some time before it gets to the front door.
And even then, it needs to destroy the front door as it's locked.
Indeed. Yep.
I'm gonna climb down the trap door.
Okay. All right. Dropping down inside, you see it is very dark down here. First of all, but you've got dark vision, haven't you?
Dark vision.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. In that case, then, as you land, you see a strange sight before you. A weird, almost leafy-looking carapace of some sort, and you see it's kind of almost up and attached to the wall with webbing. And as you step around, you feel the crunch of what sounds like bone underneath your feet.
Bones. What?
And your vision kind of adjusts. You see there is rows of skulls aligned along the wall. At the far back, you see there are dead moths scattered about. There's like a dead, rotting rat as well, and the stench of this rot reaches your nose. Most of these skulls look to be of, well, smaller size, but no smaller than your toy sized.
Hmm.
So whether they were shrunk down first and then placed down here, you're not sure. In any case, the only thing that looks like it had any semblance of life down here was this, like, slightly greener and almost like plump looking fleshy thing up against the wall. It's got like leaves sticking out of it as well. Not sure if it's wood or carapace, like an insect's, like chitin, chitin.
What is this? Hannah? Is this where you're hiding?
You don't hear a response. But there is suddenly perhaps a slight bit of movement from it as it sort of almost wriggles slightly. And I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
17.
That is a success. You see, as it's like wriggling, it's almost as if something is trying to break free for a moment. And you see like something pushing up against the wall. And you can see the seams beginning to sort of crack and peel. And you hear a crying, a sobbing coming within. Why? Why is this happening to me? What is happening? You hear a
Hannah.
pained kind of groaning like a strained wince, and you can hear bone kind of cracking inside. Garreth, I'm
I'm
sorry.
here now. It will be okay now. We're together.
You see a hand sort of pushing out, reaching for yours. It looks like her hand. Small, childlike hand that's just trying to grab a hold of anything.
I'll try to
And
reach for her and try to get her out.
you reach for hers.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like hers kind of grip onto yours, and she's like, Garreth, you came back for me.
Of course I did. That's what I promised.
I knew you would. I've been trapped in here. I don't know what's happened to me. Please help me.
Of course. What do he need? Let me get you out. Can
As
I
you
move
pull
some
as
of the
hard as you can.
carapace? Oh.
Yeah, you can rip it open, pull her out, and as you do, you see another hand reach out and grabs a hold of the same hand. This one is like clenched over yours and gripping into hers at the same time, except it is not her hand. It is a bark-like, gnarled, knotted grip with claw-like hands that you have seen rend open a boggle's throat in one swipe before. And you hear her voice ringing out, "It's too late." And as she tries to rake open your flesh and pull you in, you suddenly feel your vision sort of blank out for a moment as you're pulled towards it, like headbutt almost against the wall. And you realize there's a crisp kind of crunching sound underneath your feet. This isn't some green plump chitin. This is a withered, dried, hollowed out husk.
Hmm.
And you realize whatever that horrifying illusion was merely in your head, but some of it felt like it was playing on the truth.
Wait. The husk is
You,
open and empty.
it is.
Where is she?
It's been dead for some time as well. You can feel your feet kind of like crunching it like a dried dead leaf. The webbing is all dusty as well. It's not like fresh silk spun. It's like grey and torn. And you hear something thud down behind you as the living doll lands kind of flat first on their face and then begins to get back up. There you are. I told you wouldn't find her. I told you you've already met her.
I am
Do you
not
understand
in the
now?
mood for games. Where is my sister?
She just sort of starts to giggle, this little bunny, like, laughing and tipping its head back, but its split head like rolls open. One half of its face is laughing, whilst the other's just like coughing up cotton. And it's at that mention where when you ask again where she is, you hear Jack's voice saying,
Garreth, we might have a problem. It's Granny. She's heading back upstairs. I think she's going towards her room. You want me to, like, try and slow her down, or what? What? I'm not supposed to be in there.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Stay hidden.
inside the hollowed out chrysalis, you see there is also some remnants of blonde looking hair. You see torn red fabric.
Garreth is gonna grab Thompson, stare at the stuffed doll. 3 times have I asked where my sister is. You have not responded once. And he's gonna decapitate the doll.
Okay.
Or not.
It ducks down underneath.
Does it have dark vision, by the way?
Let me check. No, it doesn't. You can roll advantage.
Nope.
God damn. It just sits there, cackling at you, and laughing as you feebly try and swing your axe at it. And its head just like leans to one side as you try to swing. It's holding on by a thread as its neck falls off, and then she grabs it, pops it back on, and I am gonna continue to cackle at you once again. Roll me a wisdom saving throw. The cackling is almost mimicking that of Granny Nightshades as well. And you just hear like, it's too late, dearie. And whilst that laughing is going on, you see visions again. More and more of these horrifying images, torturous memories that are twisted to basically torment you. You realize exactly where this psychic damage is coming from, where these wisdom saving throws are coming from. This little talking doll that has been warping your mind, sending you these false memories. But otherwise, that is still its action to. Oh, and it's its bonus action. But I'll say that it seems to just sit there, delighting in your torment, regardless. You can take another swing at it. With that, you finally do lop off its head, and the fluffy body just kind of erupts into fluff and lands down onto the ground.
Yeah, and I'll just go in the chrysalis. Hide in there, contemplate what's happening.
You hear Jack once again.
She's inside the room. I think she's seen something.
And you hear the clattering of the guillotine on the outside of the door. Trying to get in. And Scabatha
oh no,
seemingly starts to see it and walk over.
Jack!
Jack says,
Garreth,
Mhm.
she's coming towards the dollhouse. And she's shrinking.
She can't go in. She can't go in.
All right. I'll stand by.
and you hear Scabather again sort of saying, "Oh, what's this? You're not supposed to be outside. How did you... What the..." You hear the rattling on the door handle. And that's not right either. Oh dear. You, hear her forcefully trying to get it open, and then she says, fine. Maybe I just locked it without remembering. And you hear her calling out. You hear her say, Rumpelclump! And with that, you start to hear the entire dollhouse beginning to crack and creak. And you hear the sounds of rusty hinges right next to your ear beginning to squeak. The webbing all around the room begins to tear open as you see a seam along its center line beginning to open up, pulling open the entire dollhouse inch by inch. And of course, light is flooding into the basement and as well. And you're going to try and hide inside the chrysalis, yeah? Give me
Yes.
a stealth check.
Still there.
And
Can I use inspiration for this?
yes, you can. And one last thing, as you see this happening, there's also the image of the doll. The one that you just beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
Their head sort of suddenly jerks back up onto
Of
its
course.
neck, onto the stump. And you see one of its ears is ripped off earlier, but you see the singular ear pulling itself forward towards the rest of its body. And its ear is like almost like an extra appendage dragging the head and rolling it towards the stump. And then as it reattaches itself, you see the thread and stitching becoming full again. Meanwhile, you close up the chrysalis, trying to block out the rest of the outside world. And you hear Scavather walking up and into the center of the hut, of the cottage, the dollhouse, rather. You hear her kind of wooden footsteps across the board of the table. She's looking around. Looks like there's been quite a commotion inside. She looks towards her little living dolls who have been eaten away by the moths. It's absolutely swarmed them. Let me check something. Okay. The moths have started to flee like you asked them to. And most of them flutter again away from the dolls, like what's left of them. As the dollhouse is open, you just see them kind of fluttering out onto the room. She's like, "What the? Yeah, who let you out? Get back in your jar! No, come back here!" And you see her regrowing back to full size, and to you, that's sort of terrifying. You see this massive, almost gargantuan, kaiju-sized hag beginning to raise back up to full size, and she's trying to catch the moths that are now fluttering around in the room. You're just like peeking through just a crack in the chrysalis, but she didn't seemingly spot you. But what would you like to do? You may have a chance while she's trying to catch the moths to get away, or you can stay and hide and hope that this little living doll doesn't begin to snitch on you as it's coming back to life. with 5 hit points. Yeah.
There's
Starts to
more
wander over to the
dolls.
chrysalis. It's
Oh,
the
I should've
same
done
doll.
that. What there?
The same one that you decapitated. The other dolls upstairs are sort of in pieces. But
Okay.
you don't know what's really going on with those. What do you do?
Can I whisper a rumple clump?
Yeah, you can say that if you want. The dollhouse will
No.
begin to close back up slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. The dollhouse begins to reclose and seal shut. It's again still facing into the room as it was when you first saw it.
Hmm.
And here, sort of Scabatha, as she's trying to catch the moths, turning around, perhaps half paying attention. So, what would you?
I need a distraction.
You hear the little.
Jack, can you cause a distraction? Out of the room?
Yeah, sure, like,
Can you make something fall from the balcony? Or on her balcony?
alright, sure.
He starts throwing things out of the window, and you hear the distant clatter of tin soldiers mobilizing, and then you hear the beating of the drum that is alerting all the other tin soldiers to arms. And Scabatha turns around hearing this.
Now what?
Looks back to the dollhouse one more time, which is now kind of closed up.
I'll get some other moths later.
And you hear her moving away from the dollhouse. Outside, down the room, down the stairs, and out of earshot. And she's calling out.
What is happening? Is that Will of the Feywild? Is he back again?
What's funny is it's just another boggle.
It's just another boggle.
You hear the little living doll coming up to the chrysalis and saying, as its mouth is just kind of reattached, saying, "No,
No, Granny, come back! He's hiding in here.
As she's like calling out, you see the axe come through the chrysalis, ripping it open and into the back of the doll.
Ah!
It falls down again, landing on the ground. And then you see its head turning around towards you.
That's mean.
The dollhouse is closed, right?
Trying to kill me.
It's closed again, yeah.
Yeah.
Tried to kill me when my back is turned.
You know what's mean? Taking someone's sister.
I didn't take her. That was so pig. You should take it out with her.
Oh fuck, I have forgotten that I had booming blades.
Sure you want to make noise?
No.
The doll begins to regenerate once again, picking up its head. This time it's on backwards on its body. Its limbs turn around, stretching the seams.
Can I What's this?
recharges its cackle, and just starts laughing in your face.
Can I
Yeah,
decapitate
you really
the doll?
thought that would work?
You succeed.
I want to decapitate it again,
Mm-hmm.
and then burn the head in the furnace.
Like climb back up and get into
Yeah.
the oven, you mean?
Yeah, in the oven.
All right. It will. Let me check. Yep. You know what? Sure. You can shove it in there. Just toss it right in. I'll say this one thing though. It'll have a chance to maybe escape. So give me a strength athletics check as it tries to kick open the door. No. Yeah, you managed to seal it shut just in the same vein you trapped the old hag before. And then this turn you can light it
Press the digit.
with like yeah, you clicking your fingers reignite the stove and you hear its laughter going from this kind of muffled
See if you like this.
its stuffing burns up in the oven and it finally goes silent. Fire has indeed done the trick this time. It no longer regenerates.
Hannah, where are
Jax.
you? Jack was gonna say something.
Oh yeah, no. After you
Mhm.
felt like you've searched every inch of this house at this point, and Jack's like, did that work? You can hear him like running around, teleporting from room to room.
I got the tin soldiers on my ass. If you're gonna do something, do it quick. Yeah. No, I was just looking for boggles. You know, they were hiding underneath the furniture, so I thought if I threw the furniture out the window, maybe it... Oh, watch out.
Go hijack.
You just see them again, sort of running around, scampering from wherever they can. But there is little to no sign of. Well, there is
Can I send
a
a
sign.
message to the group through my token?
Yeah, you can, can't you?
I think the hag lied to us. Hannah isn't in the dollhouse. Not anymore.
Baird hears this message. And there's one thing he knows for sure, and that is Garreth doesn't lie. And that hags that's something Garreth gets from his connection to the hag.
Mm. You hear the remnants of the dolls trying to reattach themselves upstairs as well, Gareth. And they start marching their way to the stairs.
Can
What
I
would the rest of you do?
could I don't care what level spell slot it would need to be, but could I send reassurance in some form to Garreth. I will burn a spell slot into his Eerie token to do something. With the Feywild, whatever it needs to be.
Just to send a message back to him?
Just to do something. Anything.
Well, as you're looking up to where perhaps Garreth is right now, you've all arrived back at Loomlodge, and you see a flock of moths fluttering out of the window. And so if you did want to burn a spell slot, you could use it to cast Speak with Animals and have them relay a message. And yeah, you see them all fluttering around, freeing themselves into the forest, but they're all scattering around. Certainly one of them would scatter towards your direction.
Yeah. Baird will definitely do so. I'll cast Speak with Animals, and which is kind of funny, considering I already have moths.
It is. Perhaps that's what they're drawn to. Maybe. They see your like long flowing cape, like a big set of moth wings, and they like flutter towards you.
And looking at the moths, Baird will first ask one thing and he says, one, the hag would be incapable of lying except for through a mission. And they said that she was there, like, currently, in some, like, way. And that she'd be able to give her back if we were able to do this task. Which means she has to have her. And Baird will ask these moths if, because I presume they say that they were under the bell, he will ask if you've seen this girl or what happened or like where she is in that house. If you were next to it, if you saw it, he needs help. He needs someone to be there. He needs not to be alone.
The moths are fluttering around frantically, saying,
"Yeah, Garreth, is that the little toy gingerbread man? We saw him. He saved us. He freed us from our prison. We tried to help him. He's attacked by little living dolls, and then we ate them as best we could, but they kept coming back together again. He's still in the house."
He's looking for his sister. A girl.
A girl?
Some of the older looking moths do say,
We saw a girl. We saw them, it was some long time ago. And she was with others. She was with Bavlorna and this other creepy, darkened-looking hag. They were with, like a toad-like hag and a skeletal-like hag. And they took her into that place. They made her into that tree, and they made her like build up this dollhouse. And then they shoved her inside. And that was the last we ever saw of them. And then the next thing we remember was the wooden-looking hag emerged with the key on its back. But we'll try and help your friend. Anything else you want us to tell him?
that I'm here.
That we're here.
We are here.
All right. We'll do our best.
And they flutter away again. Some of them look like they've been in a fight, torn wings, missing antennas, and they sort of fly haphazardly back up to the window to try and help Garreth out. Just almost at that point where you see the dolls have collected around the top of the stairs, all having regenerated and stitched back together. And then the moths come flying in, like doing a bombing run, and just surround the dolls completely, biting into them once again. And tearing their stuffing from their faces. Bits rain down the stairs around you, Garreth. Running, like just all tumbling down the steps.
Ooh. You're back? Oh, let me get rid of these
Must-
dolls. And I'll try to shove them in the oven.
Shove, just like grabbing bits, throwing them behind you
Mhm.
as best you can. Sure, they're busy with the.
Garreth
moths
is
by the
not in a
looks.
happy mood right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, that one is
They try to reach and one of them's still trying to fight back. Oh. Yeah, you lop another living doll in half again. And for a moment they've been routed. And you can use that moment to like stuff them all in the oven and cook them again. Fire seems to bring them bring their regeneration to a halt. Having felt like you've cleared out the house of living dolls, the moths kind of come to rest on you, and they seem to be trying to get your attention, and they seem to be, I don't know, they can't really talk to you, but they definitely seem to land on your head, and they seem to like form like a little crown, like
Bear
a
would
crown
have
of
given
moths.
them like a. Bear would easily have given them a black feather if needed.
Okay, sure. One of them's got like a little feather then as well.
Oh, you've met my friends? Oh, they're quick.
Right. Is there anything else you want to do in the house before I jump back to the others? Because there is a commotion going on for them.
I'll just go back to the chrysalis and just wait there until stuff is happening.
Okay.
All
right.
I'll send another message through the token. Was it you that sent the moths? I'll be waiting in the dollhouse. At least she has to provide us with something for the dung.
Okay. Back to the others. It's been a long waiting.
Sorry.
But you can hear the sound of alert. The drums are beating. You hear tin soldiers charging around the hut, trying to get a hold of something. Maybe you hear quick, like taunting jabs from Jack, shouting, probably singing the gingerbread song actually, or saying, "Jack, be quick!
Oh.
Jack, be nimble! Jack, be quick!"
Baird looked sort of determined as he's kind of like mulling it over what the moths had said.
Hmm.
And if what's her name? Needles, the little doll
Pincushion?
Pincushion?
pincushion. If she was here,
Yeah.
she would say,
So Pincushion would have been here, and yes, she would have been talking to you guys. She was just about to get Granny before this commotion started.
"Well, where is she at? It seems like the boggles are still causing issue."
Yes, it does. In fact, one of them's like running around like a pumpkin. Um,
Baird will look at the pumpkin patch and say, "Some Fey-like costumes."
very peculiar. Right, soldiers, you're on the lookout for a strange pumpkin thing. It's running around, running amok in the house. Go squash it. And the tin soldiers are obviously marching around inside. You can hear the commotion as Jack's giving them the run. And honestly, as long as Jack continues to teleport from tree trunk to tree trunk, I
Mhm.
see no way, no how that they're going to catch up to him. He's running circles around them right now.
Even if he wasn't teleporting from tree trunk to tree trunk, we all know his stealth rolls.
Yeah, exactly. You also hear them slipping up on puddles of oil. In fact, as soon as this soldier from the the viander goes to step back inside, you see them slip on a slick of black-looking oil. And I'll just roll their quick deck save.
Black.
Yes, black oil.
Ooh.
He slides inside before he like clatters indoors. And you hear that there's two children inside that room as well, kind of like, what the? What's going on? But the rest of you, what do you want to do whilst this is happening? You know where Garreth is or what's happening to him. He's relayed the information.
Baird is calmly gonna go, "I can deal with the deal with Nightshade. If you wish to do something, Garreth might need help. But
Is it a for sure Vaike needs to be there right now sort of help? Or is it a
he can't find Hannah." And Baird is just sort of saying this like under his breath to Vaike, like to the side. Like while we're out here in the garden.
I can
But
be in that tree trunk, but I don't know if I need to.
let's see how this goes. But a deal with a hag is a deal they must. If we have an agreement with her, she must honor it. The Feywild will not allow her to do otherwise. Even if it's something she doesn't want to do. Her own nature may be the thing that wins us this day.
So then what's the plan? We go find a hag?
We have a delivery to make, and I have a deal complete.
All right.
Alright, I'll go step inside.
So
I'm gonna go find
yeah,
this
you
hag.
can go step in. A door's right, like here where Pincushion is. So I'll drag you there. Here you go. And entering into this small room, you see it is some sort of room for organizing fabrics that have been completed in the weaver's room. And you see a small child, kind of like a muddy looking face. Their own clothes look a bit threadbare. And there seems to be a small female bugbear as well. And she's balancing up on a stool, trying to reach the higher shelves to organize things. And then there is a patched up rug that adorns this floor. And pincushions following inside as well.
Scabatha? Granny?
Excuse me. Don't go tracking in any mud.
Pincushion says.
Baird will prestidigitate and change to the outfit he had met Scab wearing, the like lumberjack kind of outfit.
Mm-hmm. You hear Scabatha suddenly burst in through the opposite door and seems to be giving orders to the tin soldiers. Like, right! This little boggle is getting on my nerves. It's able to teleport, so I need to catch it unawares.
While me and you discuss the completion of our deal, my friends could follow it around, see what it's doing. No reason to waste your soldiers on it.
Oh. Well, they're already on high alert. The more eyes and ears we have, the better. But if you wish to assist, be my guest and go deal with that little pumpkin.
So, Bird relayed the message that the moss brought back, right?
Yeah, I would have told
Yeah.
you.
So
What
we
they
all
said.
know that the moth said that Hannah went into the dollhouse and this wooden hag came out.
Mm-hmm. Sometime later, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
Baird
they never saw the wooden hag go into the
Correct.
house.
They saw the other hag, the toad-like hag, and the
And the
skeletal-like
skeleton hag.
hag go in with Hannah, like hand in hand almost.
Mm-hmm. And then, do I remember Hannah's eye color?
That's the same as
Hannah's eye
Garrett's.
color.
It's the same as Gareth's.
It's blue.
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 What color eye does the hag have?
She has a tiniest little pinprick of an eye. If you could even call it color. To me on the art, it just looks like white. It's
Mhm.
like the color is gone and it's just the pupil. So no indication of a strong color there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Pincushions definitely has color, but it's not blue.
She said we could help search, right?
Baird, yeah,
She
she
did.
said you could help search. As Baird sort of like gets the dung together and he sort of like calmly begins like assessing. He's trying to think of the best words because we're able to trade this for a lost thing. And we had suggested what we may be trading it for, but he is looking for the right words to not be twisted, as it were.
The door here too.
As he calmly goes, to Grady Nightshade, and he begins just very simply and calmly.
Oh wait. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to make note. Pincushion goes through the kitchen area and guards the other door during this commotion.
And Baird
yeah.
just confirms with Nightshade and says,
Mm.
"So with this task complete, I can choose what I want."
Choose what you want. That sounds very vague. I said you could have a lost thing, dearie. There's
Yes.
plenty to choose from, though.
Ah. Baird begins as he goes, something lost.
That's right. Likely one
He
of the
looks-
things from the carnival.
Uh,
Many a children have lost their dolly or lost their little toys.
Baird looks straight at it and he says, then, with the authority of the Feywilds and our agreement, what I choose, the thing that is lost, is Hannah Zimmer, body, mind, soul, returned to the Jumping Junipers.
You see a ticking of her key come slowly to a stop. Her expression goes from a smiley, caring old granny to just almost like a side eye, like she knows exactly what you're up to. Hmm.
Your nature forbids you from disagreeing with that which we've already agreed. Both your magic and your body will be unable to stop you from finishing this.
There are some things not even I can reverse. And how does one give something that no longer exists?
The definition was lost. And that is lost.
Oh, they are lost.
Which means that you...
Lost forever. But
Nothing's forever.
so be it. If you want them back, I'll do my best.
Mind,
you see, she
body,
begins
and
to
soul.
cast a spell. And she begins to shift herself. You see the wood beginning to kind of crack, kind of split, and turn almost like inside out. She's still wearing the kind of same clothes, but you see as she tries to shift herself into a smaller form, she also is able to shrink down as well to like the height of which you remember Hannah being. So she goes down to like a small size effectively. um, all the while you see kind of skin kind of opening up. There's more flesh appearing, pale flesh, not like the cracked bark, but much more like skin you imagine Hannah having. And unfortunately, there's a complication in the transformation that seems to halt in a kind of a mid form, half Scabatha, half Hannah, where her face is just sort of cracked open only partly. And you hear Scabatha's voice still, you don't hear Hannah's. He says,
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. So, I am at your disposal.
Baird will just calmly go,
After all, we are family, aren't we?
Baird will narrow his eyes and just go, you haven't completed our deal then.
This is Hannah's. I am Hannah.
You are not.
You see, like, part of Hannah's face through the cracked and split bark, saying these words, smiling this grin.
How's the key looking?
The key has completely stopped.
Hmm.
I did not lie. I told you when you came here that she was trapped. I told you that she was inside. And when I saw all of you, I greeted you as family.
You promised the lost thing. I've done nothing to break our deal. Why the
I cannot undo time, Baird. What you see is what you've got. Some people just change. They grow up. The Hannah you once knew it's not the same anymore. But a deal is a deal. So here I am.
So all these tin soldiers are out, or are they in their houses?
Yeah, they're out. They're mobilized right now. Yeah, have one more. They come storming in through the door, looking around. Yep.
Baird
Everyone
is
is on
going
high
to
alert. You can hear more. You can hear more tin soldiers above the floorboards rushing around. You can hear them in the other rooms.
Baird is going to consider things. And he is going to sit down and he is going to, well, not sit down, he will pull out his lute. And he is going to play something. And in a way, I think he is going to try to entreat the Feywild to do something here.
Mm-hmm.
As he will, as he plays his music, he will put the tooth into Nightshade's hand, and he will only go, "If Hannah you be, then there's hope. But nothing is forever. There's always change in the Feywild." And he will begin playing a song that he, Garreth, and Hannah had written as kids. As he hands this tooth off to Nightshade.
A song you
Basically, yep.
Well,
And I will entreat the Feywild that if she doesn't have the power to fulfill the deal, the Feywild may be capable of finishing what was asked. This was a contract done in fair agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to entreat it.
Okay. As you begin to entreat it, Ulric, you feel your stomach churn. Vaike, you see your echo flickering. Notice all around you, you see the colors of not just the individuals, but also the air itself, like motes of dust, leaves falling in through the windows. Even the very bark of this long dead tree begins to have an aura of emotion. It seems to rise, reaching some sort of fever pitch. And you all together hear the groaning and creaking of this great tree, this lair of the hags. And as it groans, you hear distant bird calls. You hear the goats all in the pens beginning to bleat, calling out. You hear the pigs in the pen kind of snorting.
There you go.
And you even see a bright light shining from somewhere in the farm. And you hear kind of this almost demonic cry that's halfway between like a squeal and a cry. The only things that are not reacting in this moment, the only things that do not have an aura are the tin soldiers. Their soulless metal just stands there, unaffected by all of this. The drumming of the drum just seems to stop. And it seems to reach like this fever pitch before you even see Granny Nightshade does appear to almost be a little bit concerned. Her head like looking around, her one eye kind of going wider and twitching as if something's about to happen. And then it all starts to fade to a silence. And as the song trails away, it feels as though nothing has changed. And Granny Nightshade looks towards you and says, "Oh. Well, it was worth a try, wasn't it?" But I'm afraid that this realm and its creator, they can't really hear you. We made sure of that. We rule this realm now. Prismere belongs to the Hourglass Coven. And if it's going to heed anyone's little sing-song, it's mine. She clicks her fingers and the drumming resumes. Dum, 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 dum. And you hear the tin soldiers sort of surrounding you, marching right up to you. They don't make any motions to attack you, but they certainly position themselves besides you. Go ahead, Zay. You wanted to ask something?
Would I have been able to hear the song from where I'm at, or is it too far away?
Yeah, you even hear the moths kind of reacting. You see they're like beating their wings. You hear the creaking of the dollhouse as well. Fireflies outside the window begin to light up in a myriad of colors. And yet it all seems to sort of die away, as though
Could I
they want to help,
join
but
in
can't.
on the tune? Playing my own pen flute?
Yeah,
and I
you
wish
certainly
to
could.
look through my eerie token, which would make it destroy itself. So I can see
Okay.
and hear what's happening in this room.
You
Bear
You
doesn't
see a
stop
cage
believing.
of-
He keeps playing, even as
Hmm?
the quote-unquote despair sets in.
Okay. You see a cage of fingers, Zay, as you're being held aloft by the gnarled claw of Granny Nightshade. And she also begins to raise back to her full height. You see Baird before you, trying as best as they can to appeal to the Feywild, and yet you see Granny Nightshade, her look of concern sort of wash away as she resumes this air of confidence and arrogance. And then, she just hands back the tooth to you as she's saying it was worth a try.
Okay.
And it does indeed feel like it, as though the world is listening to you, Baird, and yet they seem to lack the ability to fight against or turn against Scabatha in this moment, as she claims her own rule over Prismir as
What happens-
absolute.
What happens if I take a step forward? These guys follow me?
Yeah, they continue to flank you. One of them's on Sir Gloltig.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as the drumming continues, you see other tin soldiers sort of making their way down the steps. Just sort of amassing on this little gathering here. She says, "Now, unless there is anything else you wish to... Unless there's any more deals you wish to partake in, I think you may have just overstayed your little welcome here. I haven't been nothing but hospitable to all of you. So I would politely ask if you could all leave now. Perhaps
Does she
come
belong
back
to
when
us?
you've apprehended Will, or... And she doesn't belong to you, no. Would you say that Hannah belongs to anyone? That's not right. But she did say this. She did say, "I'm at your disposal."
She did say
Seeing
I'm at
as,
your disposal.
and she also did say that we are family after all.
Then,
So,
considering we are at our disposal as family, in the meantime, before today, did you know who I am?
She looks at you, up and down.
not particularly. Must be some sort of long-lost relative. No? Distant cousin, perhaps?
Then it proves there's magic out there that is stronger than heck.
Oh. She looks at you. One singular eye just sort of flashes a little bit. And casts some...
And what kind of magic is that?
Oh. Oh. My sister, is it? Just because she's older than me doesn't make her better than me. You can tell her that when you see her.
Magic is complex. And well, nothing is lost. Not forever.
At this point, Ulric, you also feel that turning stomach kind of boiling and bubbling to a point of being nauseating. As you're surrounded, flanked by these tin soldiers, more and more of them just coming down the stairs as well as backup. You're probably surrounded by the most, and yeah, you just feel this like notice you're next to them. You hear their stomach kind of rumbling away.
Mm.
I don't know if you're hungry or if you have gas, but I'm worried either way.
I am going to hold out my hand to Nightshade as if I'm going to like just as like a comforting gesture. See if she'll let me like put her hand in like my hand.
Sure. She would. Good twilight to all of you. And she shakes your hand. And Ulric, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
All right.
Save face.
Come on, fail it. Take a bite out of the tin soldier.
Oh, I nearly hit the one. It stopped. You are able to resist and swallow down this buildup of what feels like lactic acid in your throat. With a gulp, it kind of settles into your stomach again.
I could do
Okay.
something risky, but it is a Hail Mary.
Well, she said she's at our disposal, so let's see what we can get with that.
She's also
If you,
asked you to politely leave.
Yep.
And Gloltic's like, maybe we come back later when tensions aren't so high.
Baird is going to take the at your disposal and sort of go like look at the others like this is a risky play.
If he does that, I'm gonna ready my action to buy Thorn Whip her key and try to yank it out. I'm gonna ready it.
And I'm going to put her hand is in my hand. I'm going to take her at her disposal to basically force her to listen to this. And I'm going to cast command and say, remember. And I say this with nothing but kindness and with a very clear intention, because I know Hannah is stronger than whatever this is. She may be forgotten, but I'm going to...
I think that's all the tins are.
I'm going to do that.
Oh boy. It's a wisdom save, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It is, and I'm using it at your disposal because she'll listen to me at this moment. I'm basically making her fail. or be giving her disadvantage or whatever. That might apply in that context.
Hmm. Even still,
Essentially-
command is only going to be a 6-second thing, right? It's only going to
Yes,
be.
but it may give her long enough to use the rule of.
Mm-hmm.
It may give Hannah 6 seconds to use the rule of Nightshade to.
Possibly get
see.
rid of the tin soldiers.
To maybe come back to us.
Hmm. I'm going to roll it flat and see where it lands. She is not necessarily charmed by you or anything,
Ooh.
and she does indeed resist it.
Well, in that case, she still has to.
And you're casting beguiling magic as well.
Beguiling
Is that a
magic
charm?
is basically she has to roll against a charm now.
Okay. All right.
Damn.
Damn you,
Even
Chris.
stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Down the
Good
dice.
job.
They are clearly in control. And she's currently got Detect Magic up as well. She was doing that earlier. She's concentrating it right now. And so she definitely tells there is clearly enchantment magic emanating from you as you begin to spin this little spell. And she says, I've been nothing but hospitable to you, and you try to spin a little enchantment over me. Hmm? That
Nothing.
is where I draw the line. Tin soldiers, if you would kindly escort these these intruders out of my house. And you see soldiers beginning to amass around you, Baird. They did not take kindly to that, trying to charm her. That's seen as effectively an offensive action, and unless you resist, they are going to grab you by the arms and start to escort you outside. Unless, of course, we want to roll initiative. That's up to you.
Do they do
guys.
that to everyone or just Baird?
I think everyone. Yeah, I think at least they're being rough with Baird. They would definitely just open up the door behind you, Notus and Ulric. They sort of gesture towards you to get out. Yeah.
Baird would,
Would
even if
run.
they're being rough with him, let them hit him if they are trying to while they're doing so.
Mm-hmm. They're just basically trying to make a grapple on you. You can tell. You can say if you're going to resist or not, but their large steel arms begin to grab you by the arms. So, yeah, I'll roll this. Unless you're saying you want to resist. There's 3 of them also. 3 of them trying to grab you. But are you resisting, Baird?
I wasn't really going to.
Okay, then they grapple you. And they start to drag you outside. And yeah, they're gonna basically drag you probably all the way out. And I'm gonna put you right back at the beginning. Okay. Let's grab. Gonna grab your pulls real quick. Okay. When you get escorted all the way to the very beginning of Loom Ledge.
If we see Jack, I
Right.
will like motion to him like get Garreth out of there.
Okay. Yeah, Jack is, whilst all the tin soldiers are occupied now, surrounding you guys, Jack definitely has a chance to get into the room again. And you hear his voice, Garreth.
Mhm.
All the tin soldiers are downstairs. They're with Granny, and it doesn't look good. They're taking everyone else outside. I think they pissed him off.
I really don't want.
What the hell is this thing?
Oh, be careful! Be careful!
Yeah. Got a little dagger on it. You hear Gareth you hear Jack grab it and toss it aside to the other side of the room.
They just throw it up off the balcony.
Yeah, sure. Just tosses it outside. Yeah. There you go. You coming or?
Yeah. Rumpelclasp?
Jack twice the size of it. Was that what it was? That didn't sound quite right.
Rumpelclub.
There you go. You say it first, doesn't seem to happen. Jack's like, come again? And then you say it correct the second time, and the dollhouse creaks open. There you are.
Okay.
All right, hop on.
Up on Rumpelclub. To close the building again.
He
oh wait, before we
looks
leave,
for the nearest
let's
exit.
check over. Are there any letters?
Oh yes, there are. There's some scrawled out on the desk. So, Jack hops up onto the writing desk and has a little look for you. It is okay. Avery. Yes. There's 3 letters. They appear to be 2 from Bavlorna and 1 from Enderlin.
Oh, what
And
does
they read
Bavlorna have
as-
to say?
They say,
Sister, I don't have Eladon's horn. If I did, would I use it to free Bloodybeak and send it after the Jabberwock that lairs in the palace and hunts in your forest? No matter what Enderlin says, that burbling beast of a dragon is no threat to our coven and our realm. How Zybillna managed to befriend it, I'll never know. Maybe we should ask her. Much love, Lorna.
Aw, how sweet.
Aww.
yeah, the other one. Let me check. Put this in the chat for you as well. The other one says. Actually, there's a reply. I'll do them in order. So Enderlin's one's next. Not that you would hear their voice saying this, but I'll try and put it on anyway.
Lovely Scab. The last time I saw the unicorn horn, it was in your possession. Pity you lost it. But fret not. I have gazed into the orrery of tragedies. It has revealed to me that Eladin's horn will be found. If worse comes to worst, recall that Eladin's mate still dwells in your forest. You could simply kill Lamorna and take her horn. Assuming, of course, you're not making toys. Your darling sister. End.
That's kind of cool. The name and the end of the letter at the same time? Kind of cool.
Yeah. And then finally, the last letter reads,
Dear sister, there's no use asking Enderlin if she has the horn. She doesn't tell us anything. But if we don't find it soon, I fear what the Jabberwock will do after it gets tired of prowling around the forest and turns its fiery gaze elsewhere. God's bodkins, that thing gives me nightmares. Must I remind you, we need the unicorn's horn. to free creatures from the cauldron's time-freezing magic. It's not enough to know their true names, you know. Of course, my greater concern is that someone else finds the horn and uses it for exactly that purpose. What do you think Zybilna will do to us, we treacherous three, if she's no longer bound by her cauldron's magic? Your beloved sister, Lorna.
Whoa.
Hmm. Okay, we've read enough. Let's make like a tree.
All
A
right.
leaf.
You don't want to. He hops up into the windowsill. You don't want to write back to your pen pal?
I'd love to, but maybe another time.
You hear the little mechanical. What's it called? Mechanical sparrows just sort of look towards you as you're reading these letters. And they certainly look a little bit curious as to what's going on. And they kind of chirp and click in your direction.
Chirp,
But
chirp.
that's you hop down onto the wood and scale back down towards your friends if you want.
Yeah. And these are also corrupted compustry.
As you're approaching, or rather getting down towards the grass, you're let's say you're like 40 feet up on the side of the tree. You see the strange mushrooms that form a ring. They've heard the commotion, and you see that they have lifted up out of the dirt, all of them drawing wicked-looking sickles. And they seem to be looking around the premise, saying to themselves in Sylvan,
Oh.
What's all the commotion? Oh,
red
sounds like they got a
caps.
boggle problem.
they are indeed redcaps. And yeah, they look angry.
Well, should we get in here and join a fight? There might be some blood to spill. My head's getting thirsty.
Could I have taken a short rest while I was waiting for the group to finish their negotiations?
No, that wasn't a short rest period.
In that case, could I have used the
Magical
ability
cunning
to... Was it magical cunning?
to get a spell slot back. Yes,
Yeah.
you could have done that. That's true. Yeah, it's only a minute.
Then I would have done that. And...
Okay.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Where is it? Where's sleep?
Yeah.
There it is.
Just notice it's not on your sheet.
What? Yeah.
Magical cunning. Here, I'll add it. There you go.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool. Nap time.
No?
Okay.
Check, we run!
No. Shit. They look around, trying to find out where that spell was coming from. And they're like, what the? There! It's the pumpkin they're on about! Whilst lacking ranged attacks, however, they just swarm towards the base of the trunk, whilst Jack's like, let's go around. And you get a look inside as you're going around the window here. There is a library below you with a standing mirror, as well as another large writing desk. There's a seat with some drinks laid out on it as well. The mirror looks similar to the one you saw in Bavlona's cottage as well. Jack will try and take a safer route around the tree and back towards your friend's position. So,
with lots of oh, can we take a no, never mind. Yeah, we leave.
okay. At that, everyone is back together again. You see Jack escorting Garreth. Garreth is riding atop the pumpkin. And Jax jumps into in the middle of you guys and says, "Wow, you guys look really, really down." And he starts drooling a little bit.
Oh,
What's got
no,
you guys so upset?
Vake's happy.
Oh, except for you, Vaike. I don't know what you're grinning about.
What I'm grinning about?
Good to see.
Talking finally didn't work, which means we get to come back and punch her in the face. I'm so excited.
Oh, I thought you was excited. I thought you were just happy to see me. It's been a while.
Of course, it's been a while.
I'm
Happy to see you.
sorry,
Of
Garrett.
course. Oh, look at the man of the hour. How's it going, Garreth? What'd you learn?
That my sister is no more.
Nonsense.
That's not true.
We saw a part of your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a hag. Looks like whatever hag you killed was Scabatha, and then they reincarnated her in Hannah's body. So we gotta like drive out the evil spirit. And I'm thinking is it's that stupid key. I feel like we gotta yank that key out.
Mm.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
actually,
Hmm.
everyone roll an Arcana check, by the way. While she was casting that spell earlier, some of you may recognize what that was.
You mean it wasn't detect magic?
No. She cast Detect Magic, but when she started shape-shifting and shrinking,
Oh.
she was actually She was most certainly casting a spell to do that.
Dude, Ulric
And
Garreth. We all wow.
Okay.
We're all magic. We're all
Surprised I got a
magically.
7. Yep.
Yeah, actually, anyone who got above a 14 recognizes the spell casting. It was polymorph.
Mm.
The thing is, polymorph normally only allows you to change into beasts, and that's where the, as I mentioned, complication came in. She was able to kind of replicate flesh and maybe like a face, but she wasn't able to fully transform into Hannah. But you gather from that, it's not so much that Hannah is inside, but rather she was mimicking Hannah's form through transmutation magic, trying to perhaps give you false hope.
So
That is against the rules.
damn.
That means she didn't complete her deal whatsoever.
Yeah.
She reneged
Very
on the
definitive.
deal.
Glottic says she said that she was Hannah, Garreth. She said that that's what Hannah became. I don't know exactly how, but I think your theory might be right. That Granny from your story and Granny Nightshade might be one and the same.
I had a vision in the dollhouse that the next time I'd interfere with that old bargain, my friends would be the ones paying the price.
Jack says, that sounds like a scare tactic to me, Garreth.
Well,
I
the
just said the same
previous
thing.
time my mother died to death. Burned to death.
Right.
What I'm thinking
Uh-huh.
is we regroup with Will. We pick up those red caps, pick up that centaur, and we do a proper raid. We get all the kids out and we beat up grandma.
How long do we have?
You would see his Baird nods. It looks like he's literally like on the verge of throwing his loot.
I mean, if you think about it, we still have a deal with her to clear out the boggles. So technically, we still do have a reason to be there, even if she just asked us to leave.
Speaking of, Jack, were you able to talk with the boggles?
Yeah. God, yeah, sorry.
You see he's like drooling a little bit still.
It's just good to be back. Yeah, so I spoke with the Boggles. I told them, hey, you know, you don't want any harm to come to the kids, because then what are they gonna feed off? There's no loneliness if they're not around. So they figured that made sense, but they also kind of brought up a point, and that is, if they leave, they go back to their families, then they might not be lonely anymore. So the same would also be true. They wouldn't be able to feed on their loneliness.
Yeah, but did you tell them that they'd be able to feed on the hag's loneliness because she doesn't have her kids anymore?
Huh. I didn't think of that.
Nope. Well,
We just kind of came to a stalemate, but they at least kind of made a point of saying, like, no harm to the kids. They seem to agree with that one. But I'm not sure whether they'll interfere or not if we try to take him out of the house, out of the lair. But if I can try and use that point you just made, there's a chance. I'll have to convince them.
Can we find something else for them to eat?
The only other lonely boy I know around here is you.
Taken. Well,
Yeah, take.
do they only eat loneliness?
That's what we're. Yeah, that's kind of our whole deal. That's what we're born from. Unless there's any other emotions you can see on me, Notus.
Do I see anything? Like, otherwise?
There is a mix, actually. Yeah. As though Jack being in everyone's presence has brought him a strange semblance of joy. Especially being reunited with Garreth. But it's not his primary emotion. He's still definitely at his core, definitely has loneliness. So like if you're seeing through his eyes and through his mouth, you can see like a center aura of loneliness, whereas there may be a sort of a momentary air of happiness over Jack. And then there's of course very much concern on his little stalk. Perhaps that's what's on his mind, and that is perhaps concern for Garreth and Hannah. Yeah. It's definitely a worry.
Aw, Jack's growing. I just pat him on the head. He has more emotions than I do.
I'm sorry, Garreth. I failed you when you needed me most. Again.
What are you talking about? You're not the one failing me. It's
Oh.
those damn hags lying every time they get the opportunity.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
see his
That's
beard shakes his head in response, and he just says, "Every time you've needed me, I've failed."
Well, you did bring the dung, right?
we did.
Hmm.
That's fine. Nobody failed. Saying that we failed, nothing happened. It's just hags being hags. Look, what we gotta do is we gotta regroup. We gotta make a plan. We gotta figure out how we're gonna get these kids out. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna get revenge on this hag. We gotta get Elkhorn out. And we gotta get that wooden rocking horse out. Is that the band?
You're a strange bird.
Yeah.
Bird call
Yeah,
from
my
atop the
guy.
tree. Yeah, you see he is leaning back on the treetop on a branch, and then he sort of swings off of it, lowers down, and lands gracefully onto the ground, taking a bow, and approaches the group. I am returned.
What'd you find out?
Well, first, may I compliment you on quite the light show earlier. That was a dazzling display. I have not seen the Feywild perform in some time,
Hmm.
but it seems as though
It still didn't do what we needed.
indeed. There was a glow from the garden as well. That strange demon thing was coming from them. But he's still stuck in the ground. Your friends are nearby. They wanted to jump in, but seems they thought, against their better judgment, they should remain until you formulated a plan. I'm referring to the getaway gang. I have noticed other strange occurrences. The red caps. That ring of mushrooms is no ordinary ring. It is indeed vicious, aggressive red caps. They would probably wish to shed blood the first chance they get. Something else I noticed. In the commotion, when everything was on high alert, the mound in the garden moved. That's no pile of fertilizer. Indeed. In fact, I think that's what the dung is for.
What mound in the
There was a There's a mound of fertilizer. It seems to have grown in size since you last arrived. Also, there were several skulls twitching in the earth as well. At least 8 of them, I counted. 8 of their skulls popped out of the earth to look around.
Did you figure out how the tin soldiers are controlled?
They seem to be at the command of Scabbeth and Nightshade. They heed her command above all else. But they seem to march at a faster pace when the drum is playing. They certainly look more dangerous when in synchronicity.
So we need to take out the drum.
I also heard a meowing coming from one of the storerooms.
Meowing?
Meowing?
In the store?
Indeed.
Would that be Star?
Oh no.
I didn't get a look inside, but I heard something like a rattling of a cage. Lastly, that chucklehead seems to be murmuring to themselves. It's almost like they're trying to purge bad ideas. I'm not sure what that means, but they are certainly argumentative with themselves.
Alright.
That's everything I've discovered about Loomlurch.
Alright, so I think we should head back to Little Oak and make a plan on how we're going to get in here and take care of everything. And then, Bantray, can we get you to just hang out here? We're going to need your help with whatever we end up coming up with.
Mm-hmm. And they nod. And they climb back up into the tree.
Does anybody have anything else to add before we head back to Little Oak?
Hmm. No. Let's rate this place.
That's so glad someone thinks alike. Back to Little Oak.
All right. We're going to need a training montage, Lortic
Yep.
says.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little oak. All right.
I think for those who notice, Baird lags behind the group by a good 2 or 3 meters.
When you return, you see the kids. They see your expressions and no sign of Hannah. They're like, "Oh, it didn't go so well, huh? At least everyone looks safe."
It went well enough. We've solidified what we want to do.
Yeah. We stayed back just in case. If things sounded like it was getting worse, we would have jumped in, though. Peanut was ready to tear some heads off. Not right, Peanut?
Let's go Peanut.
Be
Well,
careful with the mushroom circle. There's a ton of vicious redcaps.
That must have been what Big Red was talking about. He
Oh.
mentioned there were red caps. Didn't know where, but
Well,
guess that's them.
We tried the diplomatic approach, and it didn't work. So now we're going to Will's plan. Lots of explosions. Get all the kids out.
Yes.
There is a couple things that we need to do while we're in there. We need to find in the kitchen. There's a guy in a hole. We need to get him out. In one of the sheds,
Mhm.
there's a possibly a displacer beast kitten that we need to get out. And then in the garden, there's a dude that's buried that we need to get out.
Hmm.
We also can't kill the hag.
What? What do you mean?
Well,
Long story, she might be my sister.
so if anything,
Oh.
we gotta knock the hag out and take it with us as well.
She reneged on a deal, so that may give us some leeway, but for a hag to break
They
a
all
deal,
look around.
something has gone strange.
They all look around at you, Garreth.
Sorry to hear about your sister.
And Will's like, if I'd have known she was your sister all along, I would have been looking for a way to fix it.
That's why we gotta knock her
I
out and
don't-
bring her back.
Maybe there's something somewhere
Oh.
else here and thither.
I don't know much
Oh.
about hags.
Maybe Lamorna?
I just remembered. I read some of the letters she sent to the other hags. You know what would make
Yeah,
a
they're in the notes, by the way.
very fun distraction?
The Jabberwock.
If we can make the Jabberwock pay attention to them.
How are we gonna do that? We don't even know where the Jabberwock is.
Well,
But Jack
the
says,
Jabberwock
According to the letters, they're in the forest
Mm-hmm.
they're around here.
somewhat.
Well, the Jabberwock is
Occasionally.
supposed to be in the Palace of Heart's Desire, but now he's here.
Well, if the hags are
Jack.
scared of the Jabberwock,
Jack, do you think you could... Speaking of, Jack, if I gave you the portable
Uh-huh.
hole, would you be able to retrieve Skabatha's portrait and put it in the hole and then come back? Real quick, like?
A solo mission. Right. Well, it looked as though all the tin soldiers were on high alert, and there's that pincushion running around as well. I could maybe wait until things die down and try to sneak in and grab it, but yeah, I don't mind doing a solo mission for you.
And Will, if Garreth tells us about the Aviary, we could
Mhm.
mention to Will the mechanical birds, and if we take those out, she won't be able. Like the communication between the hags will be a lot more difficult.
Right. Yeah. She keeps little birdies, doesn't she? Right.
Yeah. So you know
Strange
the
things.
third tree? Third tree?
Uh-huh.
Both those windows, there's a birdhouse with a mechanical birds. You could easily.
Well-
What am I hearing?
Sorry, that's the mechanical sparrow.
Ah. Yeah, you can easily
It's probably,
kidnap
it's
birdnap
probably
them.
shouting. Was probably shouting, "What did I do to you?" to want to kill him. Who knows?
Not
Yeah, you could try
kill
and kidnap
just
them.
birdnap them.
I mean, we don't need the birds. If we
Oh.
take care of the hag, we don't need the birds.
Yep.
So maybe we should focus.
It's
on-
more of a. if Will wants to, it's a way to get us in a better situation without too much risk. Because he could just wait for the moment that that a letter is sent out and then go grab the bird out of the air.
I think the most important thing to get rid of is the drum. The little drum is what keeps the tin soldiers uniform and faster. So if we take out the drum, tin soldiers will get disarrayed.
Other tin soldiers, which means they don't need sleep.
And I think the key to defeating the hag, no pun intended, is the key on her back.
It seemed it got worse whenever it slowed down. What would taking it do?
Well,
Hmm.
if she needs the key to operate, maybe taking the key out can be one of her weaknesses. Either
A
take
weakness?
the key out,
Yeah.
either take the key out or take her eye out. I mean, she's already missing one.
Clapperclaw,
Imagine.
do you
Yeah.
know a weakness that Scab might have?
Do I know?
You've not been around her her room that much,
No, I didn't think so.
but if you've kind of spoke with a lot of the denizens, I don't think you know exactly the weakness, but you might have an inkling you know who does. And it is the one NPC you have not spoke to in the tree so far.
It's
Your best guess
so
would be so big. Because she's
Where
closest
is
to
she?
Gabitha.
Baird is
Probably,
going
maybe
to.
even Pincushion as well, but
Baird is sort of
Sorry,
going
go,
to.
Go ahead, Clapper.
Uh,
Well, let Clapperclaw say that, because of course.
Sorry, I was
that's
just
me
trying to
telling
make sure I was
Clapperclaw.
pronouncing the name right. That was all. Yeah, it's like so pig, like pig is in piglet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah,
She wears a
that's
pig
right.
mask.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, well,
yeah, he's just kind of like when he's asked the question, he's kind of like, I don't know, but still pig might.
mm,
That's my best guess. I haven't seen her yet.
I could try going in on my own tomorrow.
Why alone?
because they won't remember him.
Jack, Baird looks at Jack with like a raised eyebrow, like, how
Do you remember?
do you know that, Jack?
I've got some things locked up. He gestures towards his key on his stalk.
Hmm.
I haven't opened up about it yet.
I see.
There was something else that was weird. I don't know why, but she had like a bell glass of moths in her room, and well, she seemed pretty hell-bent on trying to get them back once Garreth released them. They're fluttering around all over the place, just like snatching them up and trying to get them back in.
Hmm.
I have no
I could
clue what it
on-
was about.
It might be seem strange, but I actually may be able to jump up to the balcony and remove the bell. If she's insistent on it, it means removing it from the equation might be a good thing to do. If she was successful at capturing any of them again, we may have distracted her at just the moment she needed.
No, we can
I think most
we
of them
can
got
we
away,
can
right?
push it. Except for Cotton. Cotton is in the dollhouse.
Okay, this is what I'm thinking. All
Yeah,
right.
Cotton didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm thinking is we need a big distraction at the front, and then we need some stealthy people to go in through the back and to get everything done.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking me, Ulric, Notus, Voltic will be taking up the front, and then we can have Garreth and Bird and Jack going in through the back. And we can have, I don't know if we can do this, but why don't we just bring Little Oak up to the front and start like wrecking shit, you know? He's a giant ass tree.
Hmm.
That's
Me
a bit too risky.
And then
Garreth, Jack.
And
the
Bella
back?
can all go into the back with the portable hole. And if you guys can just get kids, bring them out with the portable hole.
We might.
Oh, if
I
we
can
can
also
if
approach
me and
the
Jack-
hag as
Hmm?
someone new.
Or maybe we can have two different groups going in to infiltrate, one focusing on getting the kids out, one focusing on getting some other stuff. Like we need to get Elkhorn out, we need to get Star out, we need to get the painting. We need to get the rocking horse.
Maybe Lamorna might have an answer if we were to ask her about Hannah.
Well, that's something that we can wait on.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
To ask her about Hannah.
Yeah.
We also
Okay.
figured out what happened to her mate.
We did.
That's true.
What is
That's
this
why we need to
bee
get the
that's approaching us slowly?
Okay. Well, there's letters
dust.
between the hags.
What is a moth?
Oh. Hello. No.
A little moth comes and lands on the fake unicorn and starts nibbling at its tassels.
The hags were frantic about finding the unicorn horn, and one of them even suggested that if they can't find it, they might as well look for Lamorna.
Yeah, so that's why we got to deal with the hag before that happened.
They said something about a cauldron and a time stop spell. Or something in that time stopping power or something.
And they also said that like the Jabberwock's on our side, because that guy's
Well,
like fighting against the hags. The hags are
the
scared of him.
Jabberwock is trained
Friends.
and friends with Sabilna.
So if he's Zabilna's friend, he's my friend. So I don't know about all this me having to kill this guy anymore.
Hmm.
Look, I know he killed Peanut's mom, but like, I'm sure he was, you know. Sorry, Peanut.
Yes, sorry, Pete. Sorry about your mom, kid.
But like,
Could
I'll
that
pet
be
Peanut. But if the Jabberwock is on our side, that's something major for us. You know, I was saying I'm the right hand as I build him. Maybe that guy's the right hand as I build him. You know.
So, reading the letter, Zybilna's in a time stop magic from her cauldron,
Apparently.
Apparently.
and the unicorn horn is the secret.
Yep.
Apparently.
We need the unicorn horn to stop the time stop on Zybilna. Which,
And
if we,
know where it
Baird will
is.
say, Baird will say to Garreth, maybe if Zybilna's in control again, she might be able to make the Feywild make
Yeah.
Nightshade finish her agreement
Hmm.
properly.
But for that, we need to get to the castle and have a unicorn horn.
Well, in the meantime, I
But-
guess we need to heist a
The letter
hag
also
hut. Though,
mentions true name.
Baird will sort of motion to the Feywild as he says this. The hag has reneged on her deal. Is taking from her now kosher?
The moth
like-
kind of flutters down towards you.
Oh, I will.
And Bella's chasing it like, hey, stop eating
Oh.
that thing. That's
I'll
not
speak an
food.
animal
That's
as a
not,
ritual to see what his moth wants.
that's not a... The moth does flutter down and says, oh, hi, just wanted to say you're the best, Mr. Toy soldier. Yeah, you saved me and some of my friends.
I'm sorry about
We were
Cotton.
stuck in there for a long time. No, Cotton wanted to repay you for all of the for saving them. So it was better than being stuck in there for any longer than we needed to be. You
Mm.
you spoke to me earlier.
Oh,
Chicken?
golf
Fair.
chicken.
Is what people call me.
You wanted to know about the hag?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the hag's strange. I don't know why she kept us, but every morning when she would come out of her little dollhouse, she would look over towards us. And then, like, her eye twitched or something. And then she would just go about her business. But she would, like, do that same thing every morning.
What if we put one of us inside the bell?
What?
She had
I
to
hope
have been
that
doing
helps.
it for a reason. If before the morning we snuck up there and put one of us inside the bell.
But what does that accomplish?
She looked at it for a reason. With her eyes.
But
Aye.
So we're stuck in a glass jar. One of us is stuck in a glass jar with the hag.
Well, I wouldn't be stuck in a glass jar.
Oh, I wouldn't
Can-
either, Jack says.
But
Can
it's
I-
just what does it accomplish?
Can I
She
maybe
looks at
try to? This is interesting. I'm trying to think because I was theorizing with the Bavlorna and the eye stuff that it might be perception related,
Mm-hmm.
but this might be the thing. If this is her weakness or connected to her weakness, maybe. Because it's a ritual. She does it every day, which means she has a reason to be doing it. Which means we could.
I get that, but what does us being in the jar do?
It means whatever reason she's looking at the moths would be transferred to us inside the jar.
Do we need to be in the jar?
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
Glimmerdust, did you feel a certain way when she looked at you in the jar?
No, not really.
She just twitched her eye and went about her business?
Mm-hmm. That's about it. Hey, what was your earlier question? You sounded like you was muttering to yourself. I didn't know what you were saying at the time. So you'll have to repeat it. You was asking something to the Feywild. I totally forgot what it was.
I basically Baird was seeing if the Feywild would agree with the fact that she's reneged on her deal, that taking things from her is kosher.
Okay, right.
Basically, is
Well-
stealing on the table because she is now stolen from us because she's not completed her deal properly.
The Feywild.
Well, I don't really speak for the Feywild. I'm just a moth. But hey, I guess if you stole something and you didn't get caught, it wouldn't matter anyway, right? Yeah.
We could have one of us test the theory with the moths right before, rest. Like
Technically, you
after
stole
rest.
me.
No.
No?
Did all the moths get away? Is there any left?
I think some of them got caught. But most of us are free. Whee. Ooh,
Wait, how big
Those
is the
look-
moth?
these look tasty.
It's a tiny creature, like a natural moth size. Yeah. They fly over towards you, Notus.
And they're like, your clothes look tasty.
I swat at the moth.
Ah!
I can't hear it talking.
They do a barrel.
Oh.
I know
They
that
tried
the
to
moth's
nibble
in
on-
fabric, so I'm just like,
Yeah, they swat it away. They do a barrel rolls away. Fly away into the cushion here.
Baird will look at Garreth and go, technically speaking, how's the curse feel, Garreth? By all accounts, we should have ownership of it. Or at least, technically speaking, we're supposed to have hand it back. I don't know how that affects the curse, but...
I'll say that once you left the dollhouse, you did slightly get bigger, and now that you're some distance away from Loomlurch as well, you've also grown a little bit bigger as well.
Oh.
You're back to like the same size as Jack.
That complicates stuff.
Anyway, so I think we gotta do this, right? We gotta go in there. We gotta take what we need.
Should
We need to gather our allies.
Will, first thing in the morning, could, before, quote unquote, dawn when the hag would wake up, would you mind taking one of us up to her room? All sneaky-like?
Yeah, I can sure try. Bella can make someone invisible. Can they? No. That's...
She could.
Okay, yeah, she can. Will says, yeah, we could try that. What was your plan, Vaike? I want to know everything. Let's...
All right, the plan is right. We get the red caps, we get the centaur, we get the bantray, and
We can help the grandfather.
By red caps, you mean Red's crew?
Yeah,
Big Red, big Red.
See, what I'm really thinking is we take the ballista that they have on their ship,
Oh my
and we
god.
mount it on a little oak.
Holy shit.
That's what I'm thinking. And so that
Bobby's
way,
like, yeah, that sounds
yeah,
badass.
we can have
use it
Bobby
to
and
shoot the
we
soldier.
can have Bobby and Squeamish on it doing a duo teamwork, and then they can be taking down the soldiers. Me, Ulric, Captain Redbeard. Is that his name? I think that's
Big
his
Red.
name.
Captain Red.
Big Red.
Big Red. We can go through the front, and we will just cause an absolute commotion. And then
The
we just need
Dryad is willing to give us magic seeds if we go help the grandfather tree. We could do that today.
Bella, Will the Feywild, and Garreth and Bird go in through the back, and they start taking care of everything. You guys don't leave any witnesses. If you seen Pincushion, you gotta kill her. You guys are gonna get Sopig, you're gonna get Star, you're gonna get Elkhorn, you're gonna get the painting, and you're gonna get the rocking horse, while we just cause an absolute commotion in the front.
If I can get into the kitchen, I can get Elkhart out.
You can? What about those big metal bars in the way?
Well, big metal bars never stopped me before.
Okay.
And with these nice shiny boots, it won't stop anyone else.
And once you get Elkhorn,
right.
you can bring him to the front, and he can join the fray with us.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking, while we have Little Oak in the back with the ballista, he can start throwing rocks at people.
So, for the rest of this day, I think we should see if we can find any more allies or clean up things here and thither. And then we go for throat, as it were.
I think so.
And then when we rest, right before the hag would wake up, one of us goes over there and maybe test the theory.
What theory with the moths? I'm still so confused. What does this moth thing do?
She's looking at the moths.
She needs to look at them for some reason.
Yeah.
Will, you've dealt with her before.
Uh-huh.
Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
And I have no... she's never really shown any signs of apparent weakness. I don't know. He shrugs. I have not figured it out. The key definitely seems to, like, show her mood, that's for sure. Whenever she's pissed, it's always been in a full stop.
I'm thinking.
And
if
I
we
remember when
remove-
she was happier, it was clicking faster.
I feel like
Other
if we
than
remove
that-
the key, it'll just mess with her up. She's a giant toy.
Speaking of,
Garreth, I think you're...
Hmm?
So Baird's made a little servant, and that's been winding you up.
Yeah.
And that little servant lasts
An hour.
tiny. So at this point, it's most definitely run out, and you would need winding up manually again. But that at least kept you going throughout the whole dollhouse. Because if you were stuck alone without, that would have just ruined everything. That would have put you to the kibosh on everything. So yeah. Okay. All right. So sounds like perhaps gathering one more ally in the Dryad and whatever this grandfather tree is, and then getting Big Red, the Getaway Gang, the Banshray together, and
Winterbow.
forming a Winterbow. Yeah,
And if we have the time, we can take everyone to Nib's cave, and we can get everyone golden equipment.
That's actually true.
Whoa.
We told
And to help
told
Nib,
him, we
help
told him we
Nib
would
with
help
his-
him get rid of his gold, and we can make
true.
everyone just a slightly bit
That's
stronger.
actually kind of clutch.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he wants to get rid of that gold. Sure does. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone's thought of that idea before, but that's
Whoa.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we could take.
Okay.
Since we're gonna be going with, so I get out water, and I put the dryad
Yeah.
leaf in the still water, so that like Little Oak can sort of get us that direction, wherever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you got still water, like a puddle, or even
A bowl.
just a glass of water, a bowl.
I'll
Yeah.
say we should
Once the ball
probably-
starts moving, it'll. Sorry,
should
Vic,
probably
what?
pick this up next session. 'Cause it
Next
is
session.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be where I wrap it up anyway. Here, what's the grandfather tree? Yeah, I'll leave you on this scene though, as you're heading towards it. And
Oh, that's nice.
it is very strange. Yeah, it's a nice little scene. But yeah, next session we'll resume here, where there seems to be a big old grandfather tree on the path, and there's a
Scythe?
load of
Mm.
scythes. Yeah, 3 scythes laying on the ground, whilst 3 goats are bleating angrily at the tree, and one of them takes a run up
Animals.
Oh,
I have
slams
stupid
its head into
animals.
the
What are
tree.
they? What
are they
say?
red caps?
Like, get down here, you little shits. Ah!
Oh, they've been polymorphed.
They've been polymorphed.
And you hear giggling from the treetops. Yoo-hoo!
Another pixie.
Serves you
Hello.
right.
Pixies, yeah, 3 pixies are fluttering around in the treetops, and they're all giggling at the sight of these 3 goats. But that's where we will end tonight's session. Yeah, we'll catch you all next week to finally launch what sounds like going to be a big raid on Loomlurch. Like the battle will commence. Jumping Junipers have had enough. All right.
Damn
So
straight.
bye bye.